Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. Today's video is a book tag video, and I have never done one before, ever, let alone one that I've done myself. So today's video is the BTS song/playlist tag. Thought it would be fun if I paired books with the songs, and as far as I'm aware, no one has done that before. There's a lot of BTS songs I love, and all of the songs have a lot of meaning behind them and tackle social issues and things like that. I took into account the lyrics, the song meaning, anything any of the members have said about the song and its meaning, and the music video and what happens in the music video when there is a music video. I have picked 16 of my favourite BTS songs for this tag, and that was me narrowing it down. I wanted to do like Spring Day, Never Walk Alone, really wanted to do Crystal Snow because I love Crystal Snow, Best of Me, no, I wanted to do all of those, but I couldn't fit them in this video because this one is 16 songs long. As it is. I am tempted to do a part 2 if that's something you guys would be interested in. Let me know down below and I might do a part 2. We'll see. I spent weeks working on this video and I'm really hoping you guys enjoy it, whether you're a BTS fan or not. I will link down below the playlist that I have made with all of the songs from this video so you guys can check them out. I'll also link BTS's Twitter, Instagram, everything down below too. Along with Erin. Erin is a very good friend of mine. We are literally like the same person, and she's my BTS buddy, and she has helped me so much with this video, so much. I couldn't have done it without her, and I'm so grateful. Thank you so much, Erin. Thank you. And I'm finally posting it. I'm literally actually quite scared to post this. Please. Song number 1. I'd better not start doing fingers because I'm going to run out really fast. First up is 21st Century Girl and Strong Female Character. 21st Century Girl is a song that's about female empowerment, and it has a message of strength and self-love, so I couldn't think of a better concept than a strong female character. And the book I have picked is Queen of the Tealing, because Kelsey immediately sprang to mind when I was putting this together. Kelsey isn't your average princess. She's a breath of fresh air. She's intelligent, smart, strong, bookish. She doesn't look like regular princesses do either, and her character development is really so brilliant. Oh, this one's weird. This one's weird. You guys are gonna hear the song, and those of you who know the song are gonna think this is a weird pairing. And I know it's a weird pairing, but Next up is Spinebreaker and Selfish Character. Spinebreaker comments on consumerism, and it's about being thankful for what you have. It's about people being spoiled and ungrateful. Now, I tried really hard. You guys have no idea how hard I tried to find a spoiled, selfish, ungrateful character that was likeable. It can't be done. Don't like recommending books that I haven't read personally. If there's a book I haven't read that has a character, then apologies. Genuinely, Erin and I combined could not think of a selfish character that was lovable in any way, shape or form. So, if you listen to the song or if you know the song, this book is definitely a weird pairing. It doesn't really go. I'll just tell you guys my opinion. For Spinebreaker and Most Selfish Character, I picked a book that really does not go with the song. I picked Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen because Lydia is the most selfish character I could think of, and she caused me so much rage while I was reading about her. If you've seen my YouTube video for this book, you know just how much rage she caused me. Her and Wittem both, actually. I'm going to include Wittem too. Lydia and Wittem are two of the most selfish characters I have ever come across in my entire life, and they caused me so much rage while I was reading. Even just thinking about her causes me rage because she was literally such a selfish cow. Literally. So yeah, Spinebreaker, Pride and Prejudice. It's a weird pairing, I know. Roll with it. Next up is Silver Spoon. Concept for this one is privilege. Silver Spoon focuses on the growing gap between the upper and lower classes and the concept of social status and privilege. So I opted to go with privilege as a general concept. I picked Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. This book immediately sprang to mind when thinking about Silver Spoon and the whole disconnect between upper and lower classes and the privilege thing. This immediately sprang to mind because in the world of this book you have the Silvers who are in charge of everything because they have silver blood, they have powers, they can do all these kind of cool things, so they're in charge. Reds don't have any magic, they don't have any powers, they're just normal people and they are pretty much treated like dirt by the Silvers. They think they're superior and the Reds are inferior until the day a Red called Mare decides to fight back. So I literally feel like this book fits this song so well. Next up is Tomorrow, an Instigator for Change. Tomorrow is all about making the future better by being the instigator for change, and it's kind of about never forgetting who you are. This one was kind of hard for me to pick. I ended up picking it based on the lyrics. I went with Darkness Follows by L.A. Weatherly, second book in a trilogy. I picked this one mostly based on Darkest Before the Dawn, which is a lyric from the song that really resonates with me. Yes, it's to do with instigator for change because Amity is an instigator for change throughout the series, but in this particular book, she's been beaten down so much. The world of the book, it's kind of like an alternate World War II period, and Amity's basically in a work camp. She really struggles with herself. She's in a really bad place in this book, and over the course of the book she overcomes that, fights through it, comes back to herself and starts fighting back again to become the instigator for change for the third book. Next up is Fire and YOLO. So Fire is one of my favourite songs. I absolutely love Fire. I dance to it terribly. I also sing along really badly. Like, really badly. I can't sing at all. But it's one of my favourite songs. It's a really upbeat song. It's about living your life however you want, living your life without labels. It's okay to lose, just live your life basically. And the lyrics literally say set everything on fire. For YOLO, I feel like the song fits the book, but I also picked the most YOLO character I could think of. I have picked A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab, which is one of my favourite books to go with my favourite song. What a pairing. Darker Shade of Magic is full of magic, obviously, and adventure. Delilah is the character that sprang to mind when I was coming up with a book for Fire. The name kind of rhymes too. The whole live your life without labels thing applies to this series in general, to be honest. Darker Shade of Magic and Lila. I would also pair Truthwitch with Fire too, has a lot of characters that kind of fit for me, fit with the song. Basically really indecisive, so some of these have too. Next up is Not Today and Underdogs. Not Today is about empowering women, minorities and underdogs. It's telling you not to give up, to keep fighting, and there's a specific lyric. It's one of my favourite lyrics from the song, and I really focused on it a lot when choosing the book for this. Light will pierce the darkness. I wonder if anyone can guess which book I picked. Bearing in mind, music video heavily influenced this choice as well. So if you've seen the music video, let's see if you can guess. Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien, which is one of my favourite books in the entire world. The music video screams Lord of the Rings. In the behind the scenes video for the music video, Namjoon even says Lord of the Rings. In Lord of the Rings you have all these different groups of people coming together to team up to fight against the bad guy. You've got dwarves, you've got elves, you've got humans, they all team up. They're the underdogs against this massively huge army. And there's the huge battle at the end that everyone knows of. But also because when I think of Light Will Pierce the Darkness, the first scene that came to mind is the scene in Lord of the Rings with the eagles. So I could not think of a more fitting pairing for Not Today than Lord of the Rings. Next up is Blood, Sweat and Tears and A Dark Path. So I had to really resist the urge to pick a book with fallen angels for Blood, Sweat and Tears because of the music video, but that wasn't the whole concept, so I restrained myself. Blood, Sweat and Tears is about the danger and ease of succumbing to temptation and losing the innocence of youth. So with that in mind, I decided to go with Dark Path as a concept. It Roseblood by A.G. Howard, which is a modern retelling of Phantom of the Opera. I thought of The Dark Path and Blood, Sweat and Tears. I immediately thought of Roseblood and the whole thing with Rune and Thorn. Rune is our main character and she has this strange affliction that's caused by her operatic abilities, and she ends up going to this fancy school in Paris. She meets Thorn, Master Thorn. He's not the Phantom. Oh, he knows words. Thorn has a choice to make. He can either do as instructed and lead Rune down a path of destruction, or he can face the wrath of dear old dad, good old Eric, who's gone a little bit crazy and a little bit creepy. Yay! Next up is I Need You and Angsty Romance. Now, before everyone jumps on me for like turning this song to like just something like Angsty Romance, it was kind of the only concept that really all encompassed and was easy to pair with a book. RM, Namjoon, said that the song is about trying to hold on to a romance that's about to end and the anxiety of youth. I went with Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. This is the first book in the prequel trilogy to The Mortal Instruments, which is the Shadowhunters. If you're watching the show, whether you've read the Mortal Instruments books or not, I would recommend reading this trilogy, even if you don't read any other Shadowhunters books. This is such a good trilogy. It's about Tessa, and she's searching for her brother, and she stumbles across the Shadowhunters and the Downwilders. There's a nice little plot twist about her, and who she is and what she is. And of course, along with these Shadowhunters that she discovers Will Herondale and Jen Carstairs. Really feel like the Infernal Devices trilogy as a whole, not even just Clockwork Angel, fits with I Need You really well. Next up is Boy in Love and First Love. Boy in Love is the song that got me into BTS, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like, I know a lot of you are probably thinking it was one of the other songs that got me into BTS. No, it was Boy in Love. Basically, Boy in Love is my song. Boy in Love was kind of hard to put into a concept because the song and the music video are about a boy feeling his first love. Feeling all these feelings, he's not really sure what to do with them. He's not sure how to act, so he's kind of teases her. He's maybe a little bit mean to her. And awkward. So yeah, so the concept I went with was First Love. I'm pre-warning all of you, this is another weird pairing and you're all going to side-eye me so much when I tell you what it is. I picked Stalking Jack the Ripper by Kerry Maniscalco, which is one of my favourite books. I know it sounds like it's a weird pairing. I know it sounds weird, but roll with me for a minute. Considering the song and the music video is about a boy having trouble articulating his feels, my brain immediately jumped to Thomas Cresswell. I wanted to punch Thomas multiple times in the face for being a bit of an arse, even though it wasn't really his fault and I knew he was just kind of being awkward. So he's literally the embodiment of that song. But it is a weird pairing, I'll grant you that, but is it weirder than Spinebreaker and Pride and Prejudice? I just don't know yet. Next up is Attack on Bangtan and Squad Goals. I feel like the song's about being brave, rising up, and it's also kind of BTS introducing themselves a little bit. You're probably all going to see this book coming a mile off. If you're screaming it at me right now, because you can see this coming. 6 of Crows by Lee Bardugo, because this is my favourite squad in the entire world, and they are quite literally squad goals. They're about criminal prodigy and all-round thief Kaz Brecker. In order to pull off this ridiculously suicidal heist, Kaz needs a team, and that's where the squad goals comes in, because you have Kaz, who is the thief, and he's kind of a leader in charge of all of them. You have Nej, also known as the Wraith, who's a spy. You have Nina, who is a heart render, who's one of the Grisha. Jesper, who is a sharpshooter. Wylan, who is a privileged boy, but he has run away, and he has joined the crew. Then you have Matthias, who is a Fjerdan witch hunter, who generally makes it his job to hunt down Grisha and make their lives a misery. Dear old Matthias has been in prison for a while, so he's kind of, he's feeling a bit revengey. He's feeling a bit revengey. I can think of no better squad than the 6 of Crows squad. Next up is Dope and Breaking Stereotypes. So Dope was kind of a song that upon first listen you might not think has a deeper meaning to it, maybe. I don't know, you might be different. Dope is about breaking the stereotypes placed on the younger generation. It's about rejecting rejection and working hard to reach the top. My Lady Jane by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton and Jodie Meadows. This may seem like another weird choice. I'm making a lot of weird choices today. Erin and I immediately thought of Jane. She's not a lady of her time, shall we say. Courageous, she's relatable, she's brave, she's bookish. She and her little cohort of friends are drawn into a conspiracy and they have to enact their own plan against the conspiracy before they end up being beheaded, because it's the 1500s in this book. There's pop culture references thrown in all the way through. Genuinely, I promise you guys, this book is so funny. Or after another book, I would possibly recommend Dark Days Club, because Helen most certainly breaks stereotypes in that for the day and age it's set in. So any of them. Next up is Mic Drop and Badass Character. Drop is essentially a you to all of BTS's haters. Shit, I can't say that on the video. Mic Drop is basically BTS telling off their haters. There we go, that's better with no swear words. Song that really showcases their confidence in themselves, and it's about their confidence and how far they've come. It makes me feel like a badass when I'm listening to it, and you're probably thinking of the same character that was my first thought. But when doing this book tag, I wanted to avoid doing the same old books that have always been done, and I wanted to avoid the obvious choices, except for Lord of the Rings. Couldn't choose between 2 books for this one, I really couldn't, so I picked 2. Daughter of the Pirate King by Trisha Levenseller, because Alosa is a pirate captain of her own ship. She has to go onto the enemy pirate ship to get a ancient map that leads to a hidden treasure, and she is a complete badass, and I loved her, and this book is brilliant. So she is my first little badass for this particular song. And I Darken by Kirsten White, because Lada is basically the female Vlad the Impaler, and she is a complete and utter badass. I was going to include Mia from Nevernight, but that one's more of a fantasy than a YA, and it's very dark and bloody, and I wasn't sure who would be watching this video. Next up is Danger and Dangerous / One-Sided Love. Little fact for you guys, is my mum's favourite BTS song. She loves this song, I don't know why. Danger, for me and my interpretation, is about one-sided love, having stronger feelings for someone than they do for you. And in the video you see Jimin's punching a punching bag, but the thing that stuck with me from the video was Tae cutting his hair and kind of changing himself. Lion King by Julie Kagawa. I picked this for Danger for two reasons. The first being Puck and Megan's relationship. Puck has feelings for Megan, but she doesn't return those feelings for him. The other is because of Megan and Ash's relationship. It really made me think of this song actually, and I feel like Megan and Ash's relationship in this book definitely, and I think in the second book too, when they're in the Winter Court. Shadow Queen by CJ Redwine, because this book immediately sprang to mind, along with Iron King. So Snow White retelling, you have Princess Lorelai, who's a fugitive princess. She's trying to take back her kingdom, take down the queen. And you have Prince Cole, who needs to save his kingdom, and in order to do so, he makes a deal with the queen. The part that fits the song is the romance of the book, because Cole, as part of the deal with the queen, is supposed to bring Lorelai's heart to the queen. He's the huntsman. Is he gonna kill Lorelai and take her heart and save his kingdom, or are they going to find some other way around it? Next up is DNA and Soulmates. If you're newer to BTS, you probably know DNA. BTS got to perform it at the AMAs recently. They performed it on Jimmy Kimmel, James Corden's Late Late Show, and they also did Mic Drop on The Ellen Show. I don't want to say it's their most well-known song right now, but I kind of feel like it is, because it's been with them for that whole US thing. Erin and I were both in solid agreement that this was the easiest song to pair with the book. DNA is about fate and being destined to be together, so obviously the obvious concept choice was Soulmates. Super stoked for this one because I got to recommend a book that I don't get to recommend or talk about often. It's a really old book. Star-Crossed by Josephine Angelini. The title may make you think of Romeo and Juliet, but it's nothing to do with Romeo and Juliet, I can promise you. It's full of Greek mythology. Helen and Lucas are cursed by the fates, but their love can break that curse. And unfortunately, part of the curse is them, like, while being destined to be together, they kind of hate each other at the beginning. That's part of the curse. Such a good book and such a good trilogy, and it's one I don't get to talk about or recommend often, because it's not one of the newer ones, but it is really good. Next up is Save Me and Acceptance. Save Me is about the duality of youth, happiness, sadness. It's kind of a thanks to ARMY, BTS's fans, for those of you who don't know, for accepting BTS for who they are. Decided it would be best to do Acceptance, because that's the message that I really get from Save Me. Cinder by Marissa Meyer. Not even just Cinder, but all four books. I feel like acceptance is a really big theme. In the series, you've got Cinder, who's a gifted mechanic but also a cyborg. You've got Winter, who's scarred. You have Wolf. You have Thorn, who ends up with his eye situation. I really feel like the entire series is about accepting people for who they are, not even just romantically. They all come together and work as a team. They all accept each other for who they are. The teamwork and friendships between all of the members of the crew, really heartwarming as well. The final song is Run, and the concept is never give up. Run is about not letting anything stop you from pursuing your passions or your dream or anything. I kind of struggled with this one a little bit because there's quite a few books, and I was going to put Maze Runner with it, but I can't find my copy of Maze Runner right now, and I think it's like right at the top one, buried under everything, so I can't find it. Seeing as I can't find my copy of Maze Runner, which is really good and definitely fits this theme, and you know, Maze Runner, Maze Runner, run, get it, stop now. Half-Blood by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Alex in this book, and Alex throughout the entire series, no matter the obstacle, no matter the hardship, no matter what she faces, she never gives up, she keeps on fighting. I really feel like she fits with Run. I mean, I can think of so many books where the characters never give up. It's actually really hard to narrow it down just to one. I'm going to throw in one last book, which is a manga, and it is Fairy Tail, because Fairy Tail fits so many of these songs, it's not even funny. Run, Save Me, Dope, Mic Drop, Attack on Bangtan, Fire, Not Today, Tomorrow. It literally fits so many of the songs from this book tag, so I had to include it. It's one of my favourite manga series, an anime series ever. I'm holding up volume 62, volume 63 is the final volume and it's out now. I just had to throw Fairy Tail into the mix as a general recommendation because it fits so many of the songs. It's such a good series. So that has been my BTS song tag. I hope you guys enjoyed it. These are all my interpretations of the lyrics and the music video. It was the first time I'd been really excited to do a YouTube video in ages, so I can't have to do it. Huge thanks to Erin for helping me with this video so much, and talking to me about it and talking it all through with me. I will put all of my links down below to all of my social media. See you soon, guys.
불타오르네.